Hey friends, welcome to One Flight Down. Welcome to the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge. Today we are checking out a beer all the way from Greenville, South Carolina. This one is called Cease and Desist West Coast IPA.
One, two, three.
All right, so this beer I got in a box last week from Shane from Shane's Craft Beer Review and Chase from Nutmeg to Palmetto. I think this one is actually from Shane. There were like two bags within the box, each with beers. One was marked from Chase, one was from, and I think this was one of the ones that came from Shane. But it's from the Brewtubers get together, which took place in South Carolina and a bit of North Carolina, just back in early July. I wasn't able to go this year, unfortunately, but the guys sent me this awesome shirt with all the signatures of everyone who was there. They sent me a bunch of beers. They sent me a glass. I got my 2025 Chuggy Award. Yeah, so really thankful to have received all that stuff. So just a shout out to both of you guys for getting this beer over to me. Chase was particularly excited that I had this one. He was raving about it himself. And I noticed that Chris from Off the 10th had also reviewed this just a couple days ago. I haven't watched that yet, but I figure I better get on this one first out of all the stuff I got from the guys. So I can watch his. All right, so Cease and Desist. It's from Pangaea. I hope I'm saying that right. Pangaea Brewing Company in Greenville, South Carolina. So on the back here it says, due to legal reasons, we had to move away from this big old squid, but this recipe was too darn good to keep behind bars. Bursting with aromas of fresh lemon zest, cracked black pepper, a slight citrusy spice, and piney resin with a clean, bitter malt finish. Break free with this classic hop bomb and let the good times continue. This sounds great. So I'm guessing the name, Cease and Desist, a little bit here says something about legal reasons. I guess at some point there's another brewery maybe that had something to do with the squid, and I don't know, maybe it's something to do with that. And they had to change the name of what it was, or maybe it was just the name of the beer was too close to something else. I don't really know. But it's clearly a legal reason is why they went with the name Cease and Desist, which is great. I think that's a great way of dealing with that. It reminds me a few years back, there was this place in Red Lake, Ontario that had what they called the Big Mac pizza, and it was basically everything you would find on a Big Mac on a pizza. And then I went back a year or two later and it was called the Lawsuit Pizza. Same kind of idea. So yeah, somebody was telling Pangaea they couldn't go with the name that this previously had, I guess. Whatever that was. If anyone knows, if anyone can enlighten me, I'd love to hear more. I tried to research it a little bit, but I couldn't find any information on that. All right, so this is 6.7% alcohol. It's in a 16-ounce can. That's all the information I can give you. Let's just get into this. And I'm going to pour it into my liability glass, which the guys gave me with all the other stuff I got in that box. Liability is another brewery in Greenville, South Carolina. A little foamy off the top there on the beer, so I thought I'd better start pouring this over the table there. All right. So let's check this out. This is a little darker maybe than I was expecting. It is a West Coast IPA. Yeah, well, maybe this tends to be about the right. I always think West Coast just maybe a touch lighter in color than that. It's got a definite haze to it, or that's just the condensation. But no, it's definitely not a beer. You can't see face to that. I know some Westies you can. It's got like a light tan sort of a head, off-white, I guess you would say. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I said darker than I was expecting. Let's get a nose on this. Oh, that smells good. I'm getting the citrus for sure. Big, strong, citrusy burst there. A little bit of that pine. Yeah, it smells, oh yeah, there's the pine, even a little more. Yeah, it smells really, really good. All right, I'm so looking forward to getting into this one, so let's do it. Cheers, everybody. Man, that is nice. Whew, got a nice smooth mouthfeel to it. At the start, you get that citrusy burst up front, and then there was like a surprising smoothness to it, and then the bitter back end comes. It was like that second sip when I finally kind of got that bitter back end. Man, that is a nice Westie. As Nutmeg 2 Palmetto would say, Westie is the bestie. I tend to be, when it comes to IPAs, I like the New England styles a lot. But lately I've been kind of going a little more towards these West Coast styles. Oh man, that is like, now the pine is coming through. I wasn't getting that necessarily so much. Ugh, this is a nice beer. It's a bit of a journey. There's a lot going on in this one. Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything. Definitely not a beer you'd give to someone who's not into IPAs, because it does have a pretty strong bitterness on the back end. But man, this is a nice beer. I am gonna sip and savor this one because yeah, it's the only one I got, and probably the only one I'm gonna have for a while. So yeah, I better enjoy it. Shane, Chase, thank you so much for getting this beer to me. And to the rest of you, thanks for dropping by the Terry Isle Tasting Lounge. We'll see you all again real soon. Cheers, my friends.